بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وحبيبنا رسول الله. Have the good intentions. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while for the brothers and sisters. I need to practice my Khatt handwriting, and I just wanted to share some pointers with those of you who maybe do some handwriting or are interested in improving your handwriting. Here I have a PDF of a book that I own, very old, as you can see from some of the grease stains there. If you can tell there, you can see this book. It's called Al-Bidayah fil Kitaba, the beginning in writing, and it's for Khatt. Khatt means handwriting. Khatt, the Arabic word Khatt, means a line. Khatt. And this book in particular has in it 4 types of handwriting. So it has in it Khatt al-Nasikh, that's the handwriting of the Quran. Khatt al-Ruq'ah, that's the second most popular handwriting style. Al-Khatt al-Farisi and Al-Khatt al-Diwani. These two, I really don't know how to write like that. Now, I didn't scan the entire book. I just scanned a little bit just to give you some pointers and to do a little practice myself. So I'm going to blow this up. I don't know if my pen now is too thin. If so, I'll adjust it. Now, as you can see, we have some trace lines that help. So let's take a quick look here. What do you notice about this alif here? One thing you should notice is that it's not a completely straight line. Something that you might not notice if you don't have an eye for that. It's not a completely straight line. Okay? So you might write your alif like that, just one straight line, but if you want to have very, very good handwriting, let's see, maybe I can make this thinner. Let's see if that's better. Then that might be too thin. So your alif is not a straight line. That's horrible what I just did there. But now I'm just giving you pointers though. So you're going to practice so that you can get a great alif. There's also special pens for these things, and even a special way for holding the pen between your fingers. I learned that, alhamdulillah, and then I forgot it. And then I asked some sheikhs about that, and they didn't know about it, so I'll have to ask Sheikh Samir. He's the only one I heard that from. And when I put the pen between my fingers like that way he had showed me then really the handwriting came out so nicely. So there I just wrote a terrible alif, so let me maybe try that one again, Here. So your alif is not exactly a straight line, and it's not under the line like I just did also, so I'm not an expert there. Now your hamza that's going on top of the alif, how do you write that? You can do hamza in 2 strokes. First stroke is like this, 1. Second stroke is 2, like that. That's a decent hamza. It's not perfect. You want to make him nice and fancy, you can even give him a little fish hooky there. Oh, look at that guy. How are people going to tend to write hamza? Sloppy hamza is going to be like this or something. So that means you want to pick up your pen. Hamza, your first line, this curve there, pick your pen up. And then put your pen back down there. That's a really big hamza in comparison to that alif. If you want to write good handwriting, that comparison matters. So just for the sheer size of my hamza, I could bring my alif down. just to accommodate that size there. Notice also Hamza's on an angle. This Hamza originally is the head of an Ain here. So there's your Alif. Alif, not exactly a straight line. And add to my writing for you the fact that I'm writing on an iPad with an iPencil, and it doesn't have the same grip as a pencil on a paper or a pen on a paper. So that makes a difference. These lines are coming out quite squiggly, actually. Had I been writing on a rougher surface, then I think it would come out better. And then your Hamza, that's a sloppy one, but I did it fast. And that's even better still than this one. That still looks better. Hamza. If you want to write good handwriting, you have to pick your pen up. You have to pick your pen up in many cases to get those good shapes. So here's Alif. Should not be completely straight. Look at that there. So that's okay, a little bit. Not that good, but it's mashallah. Now, we have also the next letter here, ba, ta, and tha. When you study handwriting, if you study very, very professionally, then they're going to also give you pointers about how long this alif should be, how many dots it is, and how to write the dots, and how to write the harakat. I'm not going to go far into writing the dots in the harakat. I'm not that good, really. Next letter here is ba. One thing you should notice is that, look at your line here. Let's take a light color here. Look at your line here. If you want to have good handwriting, you have to notice what goes under the line and what goes over the line. And then you try to achieve that in your writing. So you notice that the bat dips under the line a little bit. Here in our trace, that's not so good right there because that little flick my pen did. You got to watch out for flicks. So that just kind of messed up my bat. So I try again. Now, that's okay. The shape is okay, but I had to fix it. All right, so notice here, if it's bat, you're going to have one dot. If it's tat, you're going to have two dots. If it's tat, you're going to have three dots. Notice here how to do the bat. So you have a line here. Look here at this corner of the bat. If you want a good bat, tat, or that, you're going to have to hit that corner right. So how are you going to do that? You're going to start your line above the line. Start writing above the line. That's not a good one there. Yani, so you're going to start above the line. And before you hit that line there, before you get to that line, what are you going to do? You're going to start your curve. That's how you're going to get that corner there looking nicely. So bat, it's going to look something like that. What's a very amateur bat like this? Bat, tat, and that. It's legible if I put a dot there, if I put two dots there, if I put three dots here. That's legible. It's not good handwriting. So going something like that there. Now I didn't go under the line very far here, and then you practice like that, and you have to get a good hand for it. There's a flick here. Flicking actually is an important part of writing well. You just need to know how to do it. It takes practice. So that's not a really good one. Now that I'm going over this with you, I see how long this can become to go through all these letters here and give you all those pointers like that. And I don't know. So it looks like this might have to turn out to be some kind of a series or something. We'll see how much interest it generates. If it generates enough interest and that's encouraging for me, then inshallah I'll do more of these. And if not, then like several other things, I'll leave it at that. But let's do a little bit more here, inshallah ta'ala, so you can get an idea about how to do some good handwriting. Let's look at this ha. Jim, ha, and kha. How are you going to do a good one there? Here's the trace line. Look, here's the trace line. Look at this. We got a squirvy line there. Squirvy line. So don't make your hat like this, like that, like it's some big ocean wave. And where does this tail come from? So here, run back over your squirvy line and then come around. Bam. Now that's not bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Could look better, but I'll blame that on the pen and the surface I'm writing on. So then your bat, ha, and jim, they're going to look about like this, approximately. I'm picking up my pen, by the way. Picked up. Put back down. Like that. Now, that might be better than the way you've been doing it if you're not that good at handwriting. So don't do it this way. Very sloppy. Professors write like that sometimes, even. So that's, if it's a jim, you have a dot underneath. If it's a kha, has a dot on top. And if it's a hat, there's no dot. Here's your dal. Look how that dal is going under the line a little bit. Also, notice the corner there. So then your dal, gonna go down, and then what? I picked my pen up, obviously, and then I'm gonna come back. So that's not that good, but it gives you an idea. So dal is basically like this. Something like that. I think of dal as a hunchback. Here's this hunchback. Stop before you get to the line, and then it's like a bat, but shorter. And it has a little tooth there. Has a little tooth right there. A little something there. Ra, as you can see, part of it is over the line and part of it is under the line here. And you can also see where the pen turned right there. So Ra, you're going to start over the line, and then you're actually going to get a little hook there. A lot of people, especially beginners, confuse dal and Ra, especially if there's not a line so that you can see that the dal is so much over the line and the Ra is so much below the line. Now here's another Ra or Zay. It's going to be a Zay if you add a dot. I call this one the fancy Ra. Starts over the line here and then just there. Goes under and comes back up. So there's your, it's something like that. So for example, I'll give you an example here. I might write Ar-Rahman like that, for example. So there's your fancy Ra. Let's do one more so that we don't make this too long, inshallah ta'ala. Here we have seen. Seen's very interesting letter. Right? You can see how much of it is above the line and how much of it is below the line. And you notice about seen what? That it has 1, 2, 3 teeth. And you'll notice also that these 3 teeth, the first 2 are closer together and the second and third are further apart. And you notice also that the direction of the first tooth, the direction of the second tooth, and the direction of the third tooth. So if you want to write a decent seen, you have your first tooth, second tooth, third tooth. So that seen is okay right there. It's okay. Might look a little funny, but it's not too bad based on the principles of Khatt. It's not bad. We have here our teeth going in the right directions. We have here more of a space between the second and third teeth than between the first and second teeth. So that's not a bad one. What's going to be a pretty amateur one like this? So this one is better here. That's a better one. That one I just messed up. So seen looks something like that. This one's not bad at all. And so your amateur one's going to be like what? Like this, even with that little hoop in there. Somebody's going to leave that hoop in there. That's a sheen according to some people. Again, that's legible, but it's not best handwriting. And so obviously I could go on here, which was my original plan, but for some reason I imagined that I would steam through this whole thing in 10 or 15 minutes. So that's obviously not going to be the case here. So this is what Allah made easy for me to do with you for now, inshallah ta'ala. So you got alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha, dal, dhal, ra, zay, seen, and sheen. You can practice. Yani, let's take a quick look here. So you have here alif shouldn't be exactly a straight line. Hamza on top of it. It's not bad for written handwriting. Not bad. You have ba and ta and tha and jim and ha and dal and dhal and ra and zay, all of that. It's not the best, it's not the greatest, mashallah, but it'll give you something to work with if you want to improve your handwriting. So, oh, and what? Seen. That's okay. It's not super great, but it's better than probably your average. It's better than your average. Just because of trying to hit those points there. So maybe someone who doesn't know, when he looks at that, he says, oh, how sloppy. But if someone knows what he's looking at, he'll say, oh, look, this one has some handwriting. You could extend that tail there for the scene, like he did here with Dad and Qaf and Noon and Ya. You can do it with Bat too. You can say Bat. You can do that. That's not a good one though. Bat. طيب, so I'll come back to those maybe, inshallah ta'ala, but let me just show you some ruk'ah quickly so you can get an idea. So ruk'ah is the second most popular handwriting style in Arabic. And this is how people generally write. Usually printed material is going to be in nasikh. And handwritten material usually is going to be in ruk'ah. And for that reason, ruk'ah is shorter, the letters are shorter, and they're faster, and they're over the line. You see all the letters are on top of the line, for the most part. In ruk'ah, this bat has an extra little line there, so that's valid. That's a bat. What's that little line there? It's just part of the letter. It's part of the handwriting style. Look at the hat here. When we did hat and nasikh, it was like this. Here, look at this hat in ruk'ah. And subhanallah, when I learned ruk'ah, I started writing in it. And then I only wrote in ruk'ah and I got really good at it. And then I started writing in nasikh again. And then all my ruk'ah skills fell off. So I really have to practice that. So I might not be giving you the greatest demonstration of the ruk'ah here. But look at this hat here in ruk'ah. What happened? Much different. Or slightly different. Here the head is much shorter, and so it looks like about like that approximately. That's a hat in ruk'ah. And a jim and a khatt. Dal, much briefer, easier. Look at that, because it's made for speed, built for speed. Ra, look, that's it. Look at that ra. Much easier. Seen, also look at your teeth, but look how small it is. Look how compact it is. And even the scene in ruk'ah has another style like this. I definitely could make this come out better if I had more grip in my writing utensils. So where's the teeth? The teeth are gone. So that's really, I don't even like how those came out, but just so you know, that's correct. And then there's other differences here. Look at that noon. The dot in the noon in ruk'ah is basically connected to the letter. It's like that pretty much. Same thing for the qaf. What, like that, I think you can do. Yeah, that's the dots right there in the qaf. That's the dots for the qaf there. And other differences. Maybe, inshallah, if we do more of this, perhaps, inshallah ta'ala, you'll get more pointers. I actually is thinking about starting an Arabic channel, a different Arabic channel, different from this present channel here, because, so not to alienate the people who like this channel by giving them Arabic heavy stuff that they're not busy with. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what Allah made easy for us today. Wallahu tabaraka wa ta'ala a'lam.